Welcome to the Local Integrated Family Teams video, How to Build Resilience Against Stress for Parents. This video will talk about what stress is and the stress cycle, how to manage stress in the moment, the effect of long-term stress, and how to improve stress resilience. Stress can be defined as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. Stress is a natural human response. Stress can be useful. The stress performance curve is based on the Yerkes-Dodson law, which states that our performance improves as pressure or stress increases, but only up to a point. When we don't have enough stress, we are bored and demotivated. When we have too much stress, we are overwhelmed. When we have just the right amount of stress, we are high-performing. We often pass through the stages of stress before we notice the impact on our health, well-being, our relationships with others, or our work performance. All of us respond differently to stress, which means we may have different levels of stress resilience. We also have different levels of optimal stress zones. Stress is not just what happens, but how we see it. The way in which individuals respond to and interpret stresses in life is through evaluation of the situation in a two-step process. Step 1. What is happening? Do I need to take action to keep myself or others safe? For example, if your child starts screaming in a supermarket, what do I need to do? Step 2. Assess the situation. Can I manage this? If the answer is yes, stress will have a lower impact on your ability to function. For example, if you feel like you can pick your child up and deal with the situation, you will be able to cope. If no, then the impact of the situation will limit your ability to cope in the moment. For example, you may start to think unhelpful thoughts. There are 4 stages of the stress cycle. Stage 1, your body is in a neutral state. The stress cycle is then activated by the trigger. Stage 2, negative thoughts creep in, such as everyone is looking at me, or I'm a bad parent. The stress of the situation, as well as your thoughts, will increase the level of stress you experience in the body, and you are in the beginning of a threat perceived. Stage 3, you will go into fight or flight responses. And stage 4, the end stage, happens when you believe the threat is over and it's safe. For example, when you are in your car and your thoughts are, you are safe from judgment. If we believe that a stressful situation is beyond our ability to cope in the moment, it starts a physiological body response where you may feel muscles become tense, clenched or sweaty hands, your body becomes hot, you get butterflies in your tummy, your heart beats faster, your breathing becomes shallow and uneven, you may even get headaches, an achy body, or feel exhausted. If you have experienced a panic attack, this is basically a body response to a difficult situation. Simply, our bodies and minds are connected, and how we perceive a stressful situation will influence how our bodies respond. In these stressful situations, sometimes our thought processes get closed down by our emotions. This raises an important question. What can we do in the moment to help us cope with the impact of stress? It is important not to judge ourselves in these moments, as this will make our body responses worse. Instead, there are things we can do to calm our emotions so we can think more clearly. Try taking long, deep breaths in through our noses and out through our mouths till our body and mind start to calm down. Or drink a glass of water. These strategies will help to regulate our breathing again and slow the heart rate down, which calms the adrenaline pumping around our brain, allowing us to be able to think again. You could even splash cold water on your face, which will shock your brain back into action briefly, giving you time to regain your thoughts. In short, stress can cloud thinking, so avoid self-criticism and use calming strategies that work for you. Remember, you're not on your own. Talking can also be helpful. It is important to learn new ways to build our stress resilience, which will prevent stress impacting on our long-term physical or mental health and well-being. Long-term stress can cause issues such as mental health conditions like anxiety and depression, digestion issues like irritable bowel syndrome, high blood pressure or heart disease, a weakened immune system, meaning you may suffer with more colds, flu infections, or viruses, as well as disturbed sleep patterns, poor concentration, or an inability to solve problems. Window of tolerance is a term used to describe the zone in which a person functions most effectively. Stress, for instance, can push us outside our window of tolerance. When we are within our window of tolerance, we can manage situations in our life more effectively. When we go out of our window of tolerance, it is known as hyperarousal, which is our fight or flight responses, which can be known as anxiety. This may feel like you are losing control, as your heart may be racing and you want to run away. It can be difficult to think clearly or solve problems in the moment. But on the other hand, we can also drop down into what is known as hypoarousal, which is our freeze response, where we shut down from stressful situations, which can present as depression. This may feel like sadness, worry and overwhelm, an inability to concentrate, feelings of numbness, shut down, and avoidance of others. The ideal place to prevent the impact of stress on our physical health or mental health and well-being is to use strategies to help us stay inside our window of tolerance, where we feel happy, calm, rested, more focused, and better able to problem solve. Difficult life experiences can narrow our window of tolerance, as well as other factors such as too many tasks and demands, high levels of stress, physical or mental illness, loss, separation or divorce, cost of living crisis, and world events. By understanding the factors that can influence your window of tolerance and actively working on emotional regulation, you can increase your capacity to manage life's stresses and navigate emotions in a healthy way. Over time, we can stretch our window of tolerance by finding things to help us stay in the optimal zone. It may be helpful to implement healthy activities into our lives, such as mindfulness, relaxation, self-care, connecting with others, doing things we enjoy, exercise, and eating a healthy diet. It's good to remember that different things work for different people at different times. In short, keeping within our window of tolerance helps us cope. This window can shrink with too much stress, but we can grow it and build our stress resilience through relaxation and things you enjoy. In summary, stress is a normal response that helps in small amounts, but harms when too high or too low. Our thoughts can shape how we feel, and we can find in-the-moment strategies to help us. We can improve our stress resilience through rest, self-care, and healthy habits. Come and join us to trial and find activities that you could use to help you manage stress and expand your window of tolerance in our Resilience Workshop for Parents. Thank you for watching. This video was created by the local Integrated Family Team, which is a multidisciplinary team for Denbighshire County Council, Conwy County Borough Council, and Betsy Cadwallader University Health Board Wales.